Hi, Rick McBrayer here with Victoria Emergency Management, operating out of the Victoria Emergency Operations Center as it relates to our tropical systems that are out in the Gulf right now with Hurricane Laura. Along with me is
Jenna West, the Deputy Emergency Management Coordinator, also functioning in the Victoria Emergency Operations Center.
We wanted to bring an update to the system's Tropical Storm Marco that was out there, and also Tropical Storm Laura, which is now a Category 1 hurricane, anticipated to strengthen into a Category 2 hurricane later on this afternoon and making impacts to the Texas coastal region late Wednesday into Thursday morning. I wanted to make sure that everybody is fully aware of the fact that we do have these tropical systems out there, whereas we're monitoring them very closely here in the Emergency Operations Center along with our command staff and policymakers. We want to make sure that everybody in the public is, one, they're staying informed. They're staying connected to their National Weather Service and National Hurricane Center's websites and social media platforms. Two, you've got a plan. You've got a plan to react to and respond to any tropical system that may be out there and take your own safety into consideration and that of your families. And third, that you gather your supplies. So vitally important that right now as we move into the tropical season, you gather those supplies and have yourself ready to go, because it's very much like Tropical Storm Laura is, Tropical System Laura and Hurricane Laura now is moving in. We're seeing that there is some uncertainty in the modeling, and so we want to make sure that people are fully aware of that and are ready to go in case they need to react to it. So.
Just to reiterate some things that Rick was saying, there is still some uncertainty in the forecast for Hurricane Laura. Moving forward, I do think that it is very advantageous for you as a community member, whether you be a general citizen, somebody who is a director of an organization or a business, to make sure that your organization or your family or yourself have a plan, making sure that you're implementing and practicing that plan here in the height of hurricane season, and making sure that you're exercising that plan by gathering your supplies, as Rick mentioned, and making sure that if you have things that are valuables of yours, to make sure that you have a safe space for them if you do have for some reason to evacuate your home. And moving forward, just knowing that you're taking the necessary precautions as a community member, because the more resilient you are, the easier it is for our first responders and our emergency operations personnel to respond effectively to severe weather threats.
It's a good time right now to do a checklist of your own, and maybe do a checklist and check up of your own preparedness activities. Make sure you have the appropriate insurance, not only for your home, if you're a homeowner, or maybe your renter's insurance, also do your vehicle insurance, as well as your healthcare items as well, including prescriptions. And don't forget about your pets and your other loved ones. And so you want to make sure that you've got all the necessary supplies for them ready to go. One of the things we do also want to remind the public is that with Hurricane Laura, we may not see a direct impact from Hurricane Laura. We may receive a small wind load environment. However, that's a good time for us to remind ourselves that we want to look around our yard, look around our general vicinity of our homes, and go ahead and start picking up those items that could be easily become wind-blown objects. So we want to make sure that we're effectively dealing with those things and making sure that we're being prepared for those things. Last thing we wanted to kind of talk to everybody about is we did notice a couple of our commercial properties here in town that are either state, regionally, and or nationwide partners are taking some response actions of their own. Some of them are actually boarding up some of their stores and their store windows. That is usually a common practice for them. They have insurance policies that they have to follow, and so we've reached out to a couple of those commercial properties and those community partners, and that is going to be a regular thing for them occurrences when they start moving into tropical season and tropical systems, and so it's part of their response plan that they have to take on to effect. And so you may be seeing that here occurring in our community, which is a good protective measure for them. And once again, it is part of their overall arching plan they have to do at their level of response. So,
moving forward, just to wrap up some of the things that Rick and I were talking about, is to just make sure, once again, that you have a plan, making sure that you're practicing that plan, and keeping in mind that although we are seeing some forecast modeling showing that Hurricane Laura will be moving more to the southeast Texas Gulf Coast, a little further up north from us, that you still remain vigilant. There is still, like we said, some uncertainty in that forecast, and moving forward, just making sure that you have that plan once again. And also making sure to keep up to date with information by following us at Victoria OEM's Facebook page, or the U.S. National Weather Service in Corpus Christi, the National Hurricane Center, along with the City of Victoria and Victoria County Facebooks and Twitter pages as well.